Welcome to Your Inner Power with Krista. This podcast is for the deeply intuitive ones, the curious ones, and the ones who follow their own path and embrace their uniqueness. We'll chat about all things spiritual, life's adventures, and always go back to deep self-trust because it's all within you. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. We are on episode 14. And today's episode is the last episode of 2025. I wanted to do an episode all about 2025 and everything that I have navigated and some reflections and just talk about 2025. So, this is basically my 2025 wrapped episode. Let's get into it. I actually began this podcast in 2025 in July. And it was something that was on my intentions and goals list for 2025 at the beginning of the year. I actually was going through my goals and intentions for this year, and I found that on the list, and I forgot that I even wrote that. So exciting that I actually created the podcast this year. This podcast in general has just been really healing for me and really has allowed me to use my voice more and just speak more and have fun doing it. I really enjoy putting everything out there. I really enjoy having these conversations. I feel like I'm sitting in a room with you and we're just having a deep conversation. I absolutely love it. So I'm super grateful that I began this podcast and pushed myself to do it because, of course, everything that is new can be uncomfortable, but I'm really, really grateful that I decided to go ahead and create a podcast. Also, what's really funny that I remembered is that I was on a podcast at the end of last year, literally during this time. It was the person's last episode of the year, and it was an interview with me. And at the time, I did not talk about having public readings yet. I wasn't offering public readings yet. But I did say on that podcast, stay tuned for next year because maybe I will begin to offer public Akashic Records readings. And here we are. I am now on my own podcast at the end of 2025 talking about the full year I've had with Akashic Records readings and coming out of the spiritual closet completely. So just a full circle moment and something really beautiful that I forgot about and just popped in. And I think that's pretty cool. 2025 was probably one of the most difficult years of my life, one of the most growth filled years of my life, and the most beautiful year of my life. I think that even when things are difficult, they can also be beautiful, which I've talked about in previous episodes. And it's something that I think is important to drive home. It doesn't have to be just because something is difficult or sad that it can't be beautiful too. And this year has truly taught me so much. Like it has felt like it's been 10 years, not 1 year. So much growth and expansion. 2025 was the year I became a full-time Akashic Records reader. And it was the year that I put my other business down and I really pivoted completely. I allowed myself to let go of something that brought me so much joy and at one time was my passion. I used to be sharing recipes all of the time. I was a full-time recipe content creator, and I decided to let that fall to the wayside and begin to step into fully being an Akashic Records reader and spiritual guide as well as mentor. And through that process, there was so much that came up and so much that I navigated. And in that, there was an identity that I had to let fall away and be okay with that. I had to be okay with letting this identity that really everyone knew me as the recipe blogger. Everyone was like, oh, what are you making next? What's the new recipe on the website? It was like always about that. And I had to let that go and be okay with that and know that it's okay to let go of something that I identified with for a long time, and that was my passion. And I'm sharing this because maybe you relate to that. You relate to having to let an old identity fall away and it being something that's hard and uncomfortable, but you know it's not for you any longer. It's not your identity anymore. It's not something that you feel drawn to anymore. It doesn't feel like you anymore. And I'm giving you permission. This is your permission slip to let it fall away and let it be hard. Let it be uncomfortable. Let all the things come up that have to come up because that's totally normal and natural. It's not going to be that we just always step into these new identities and these new versions of self and feel like, yep, perfect. I feel amazing now, even though I let go of something that I felt so drawn to at some point. It takes a moment, takes some time to be okay with that. So give yourself grace through that process. Becoming a full time Akashic Records reader and really stepping into my spirituality publicly has been one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done in my entire life. I feel like I'm serving my mission. I really do. I feel like I'm on the road to creating something so big and making my mark in the world and doing my part in the world, and it truly lights me up. And I've told this story before, so I won't tell the full story, but it was really beautiful how the first day that I put out, I am offering Akashic Records readings publicly on my Instagram, was the day that I received confirmation of a baby's name in my life that was coming into the world. I received a name a long time ago, a few years ago, and I forgot about it. And I was going through my journals and I decided, well, I guess I should tell this person in my life who is pregnant this name that I received a couple of years ago to see if there's something here. Maybe this baby wants this name. And I shared the name that I received with this person in my life. And they told me that this is the name that they were going with. And this was confirmation for them. And that was such a beautiful synchronicity to me sharing myself and sharing my gifts at that specific day. This soul not only helped confirm to me what I was doing and just further validate that I'm on the right path, but also this soul was able to get through to the parents to let them know, hey, I definitely want this name. So I thought that was really beautiful. And it's something that I lean back on over and over again. And I think back to, and I just really see so much magic in that specific day. I also began offering a mentorship this year, which has been something, again, oh my gosh, really so deeply fulfilling. And I'm so grateful that I have decided to do this. I love working in my one on one mentorship containers. Absolutely love it. It again lights me up because to be able to go deep with these beautiful people that I'm working with and be able to guide them and watch their spiritual gifts blossom, there's really like nothing more special that I could experience. And doing this work has really shown me how many beautiful freaking people there are in this world. Like the clients that I get to work with, you guys are awesome. Like incredible people, absolutely incredible. And we see all these horrible things on the news. I don't even watch the news, but the news, we see things like online about how horrible the world is and all these negative things. And doing these readings and working with my mentorship clients and having the people that come into my life that do have shown me that there are absolutely incredible human beings, heart centered human beings in this world. They are all around, and they are doing the deep inner work. They are feeling whatever they need to feel. They are allowing themselves to be seen. Truly so thankful that, again, I have decided to do this work, but also because not only for myself, but meeting these people, meeting you guys, I, really, I have no words. I honestly have no words. It has shown me a whole nother side to the world. The podcast has been something, as I said before, that has been so healing because it has allowed me to really speak, to really be seen, and to really kind of go there. But also, just in general, I have allowed myself to share more than I ever have before. I have allowed myself to talk about things that I've been deathly afraid to talk about, to be honest with you. And I have come out the other side and I feel so integrated and I feel so embodied with who I am. And I don't feel this deep fear of judgment like I used to feel. I have allowed myself to talk about religion, talk about societal conditioning, talk about things that I was so afraid to talk about. And what I lean on all of the time is that me talking about it frees someone else. And if I stay quiet, it's not talked about. And someone else is waiting for their permission to say, "Oh my gosh, finally, someone agrees, someone gets it. Finally, I feel seen and now I can step into my understanding and share my understanding." That's what it's about. It's not about just throwing out beliefs and throwing out ideas just to share them. There's a reason behind it. There's conditioning behind it. We have been so conditioned not to share, to be scared, to be nervous of judgment, to think that people are going to turn away from us if we share our truth. But every time we share our truth, we not only free ourselves, but we free someone else. If you know me, I love to travel, and I did some traveling this year. I went to Ireland, Greece, Spain, and they were such beautiful trips. I do have a podcast episode about travel, but I have found that these specific places for this specific year has been just perfect. Exactly what they needed to be. So activating, so transformative. Like every single time I go on a trip, I come back a different person. And I'm so excited for what travel 2026 will bring. I am definitely going to do some different trips this year, places that I have not traveled to before. That's the goal. I'm encouraging you to book the trips for 2026. Go to the different places that you feel drawn to. There's a reason that you feel drawn to them. There is something for you there. Another beautiful thing that happened in 2025 was that I reconnected with an old friend. And if you're listening, I love you. I appreciate you. I just feel like this has been such a incredible, beautiful, synchronistic experience, us reconnecting. And I find it to be just the perfect time. And it all just makes sense. And I am encouraging you, if you feel the desire to reach out to someone in your life that maybe you haven't talked to in a little bit, or maybe you had a break from each other, but you feel that desire to reach back out to them, do it. There's a reason for it. Overall, I have moved through things in 2025 that I literally thought would break me. This has made me realize that I actually won't break. Like, with whatever happens to me, I actually won't break. We think if this happens, like, I will just deteriorate. I'll just be on the floor. I just won't be able to do anything. And of course, you'll have difficult experiences and you'll move through the human emotions and you'll have all the feelings, but you'll be okay. You'll come out the other side some way, somehow. This is what I've been saying for the past few months. The past few months in particular have been extremely difficult, but hey, here I am right now sharing about it, sharing how I feel, sharing this on a podcast, and I'm alive, I'm well, and I am a different person because of what I've experienced. Through the sickness, through the death, through all of that, somehow we learn how to navigate, and there's reasons for all of these experiences. Our soul is called to learn and grow here. And though they can be very difficult experiences, we are here for it, right? We're here for it. We're here for the ride. And the ride is sometimes really, really bumpy, but we're still on the ride. We still stay on the roller coaster. So I'm continuing on my journey on this roller coaster and knowing that everything I experience contributes to my growth, and also that I'm probably meant to share about it because that seems to be the theme around here. And I am happy to share if it helps you, if it helps the person listening. And if you listen to my last episode, you probably know that part of what I am speaking to within the last couple months is my grandmother's death. And that really was something that I thought I would just fall apart and I would just fall apart. And I have found that through our deep connection, I feel so much more rooted in my mission here and what I'm doing. And I feel her guiding me with that. And I'm so thankful to have had the 29 beautiful years of my life with her. And I know that she is continuing on with me on my journey to live out whatever I'm meant to live out and to fulfill the missions that I am meant to fulfill here. She is literally a guide within my life's journey, spiritual journey. She is like holding my hand through it. And I feel that even more now. And I feel like I'm ready to go. Let's go even more now since she passed. And I feel that she is just a big part of my life and what I'm here to do on this planet. This year, I have trusted in myself more than ever before. I have been able to lean back and just have blind faith, literally blind faith, and just understand that this is my knowing. I feel the intuitive nudge. I'm going, I'm doing it, and that's it. And I don't need evidence. I don't need physical proof because I know this is for me. That's all I need to move forward. And that's the way I have been operating. And the more that I do this, the more that I see this is the way that I should navigate my life. This is the way that I should live my life. Because it starts with me. It starts with me saying yes to myself. The things that I desire are not going to just float into my life without me trusting and me knowing and me having faith in myself. It starts with me. I have learned to just start with the small steps, like the first yes, the first intuitive nudge, the first go there. I just do it. And then the next step is revealed to me. And then the step after that. But I don't wait for this full answer or this full download to drop in of this is what it's going to look like. This is exactly what you're creating. So here is the map. There's really no map. I believe that the map comes from the trust in yourself. The more that you can trust in yourself, the more the steps will be revealed one by one. But you need to be able to lean back on yourself. You need to be able to know that whatever you desire is for you. You need to be able to know that if it's dropping in multiple times, it's for you. You need to know that if it just keeps pinging you, it's for you. And this also has to do with taking chances on yourself and being able to jump quickly and to just know. And I'm able to do that because I trust, because I have blind faith in myself. So I challenge you. How can you lean more on yourself today? How can you have more faith in yourself today? How can you make a decision based on what you desire, what you feel, what that intuitive nudge is guiding you to choose? How can you lean on that more so today? And I will be honest with you, that is very uncomfortable because not having the proof, not having the evidence is hard. And we have been conditioned to look for the proof, look for the evidence, and don't move until you have the outside proof, the outside evidence. Otherwise, it's not safe. Fuck safety. That's all I have to say is fuck safety. Like, if you're going to live your life like that, you are not living your life. Take a chance on yourself. If you feel it, there's a reason that you're feeling it. Something that I also learned in 2025 was to judge myself less. And I spent a lot of my life judging myself, just in my day-to-day, like that nasty talk in your head. I still have it. I mean, I'm not perfect in any capacity, but it has gotten much, much better. And I am able to pull myself out more and become the observer more often rather than saying, oh, why do you feel like that? Or why did you make that decision? Or that's bad or that's wrong. Because you're never going to be able to have the deep faith in yourself if you're constantly in judgment of yourself. Those don't work together. So if you want to take those leaps of faith, if you want to jump, if you want to live this beautiful, fulfilling life, it starts with coming back to yourself and being able to judge yourself less and being able to be the observer more, to look at what you are doing from a non judgmental perspective, to just notice, to just observe, to just take note. I promise you, the more that you can pull yourself out of a situation and become the observer rather than the judger or the one who judges, it will serve you well. It really will. I will end with this last kind of realization that I had in 2025, and it is that just because something is hard doesn't mean it's not for you. We see these lives glamorized on Instagram. And first of all, you don't see everything on Instagram. You don't see someone's full life, but those glimpses that we see are not the full truth. That person quitting their corporate job and making trillions of dollars, or that person becoming a full-time travel content creator and traveling the world, of course, like those people feel good in what they're doing because they are doing their passion, right? Like they're sharing that I'm doing my passion now, so I feel amazing. And yes, you feel amazing doing your passion, but there are also hard moments. There are also hard things wrapped in that. You don't get to a point in your life where all of a sudden nothing is hard. That's not the way the human experience works. And that doesn't mean that that's not for you. So, though I absolutely love my job, it's my passion, it gives me so much fulfillment, there are hard moments in this job. And that doesn't mean I should turn away. That's not a sign that I shouldn't do it anymore. It's just that things are hard here and we're meant to learn and we're meant to grow. And the more that we can lean into that and still understand, it's not a sign to step away in any capacity. Unless you're feeling this is not for me anymore, that's okay. That's a totally different conversation. But if you're doing something that is bringing you fulfillment, it's something that you enjoy, but there's hard parts in it, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a sign to step away. Life isn't easy. There's no special formula. It's really about living from your desire, living the way that you want to live, being able to trust in those intuitive nudges, those pings, because you're constantly being guided. But it's about leaning back on yourself again and again and again. I'm going to close out the episode here. And this closes out 2025. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening and tuning in to these episodes. I greatly appreciate you. And I am wishing you the most beautiful year of your life in 2026. I will talk to you very soon. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Your Inner Power with Krista. If this episode resonated with you, please leave a rating and review. This helps my podcast grow and reach new listeners. You can connect with me on Instagram at Krista Nastu. And if you're feeling called to go deeper, links to work with me can be found below. Until next time, remember, everything you need is already within.